So I'm taking my white yarn. So if you like the white patch yarn color, then you would follow along with your white yarn. But if you want a black patch, you would follow along with your black yarn. So we're going to start with the magic circle. You just take the yarn and drape it across your 4 fingers, just like we did before. Use your thumb to stabilize. Wrap the yarn around your 2 middle fingers and then hold it in place, your pinky and your thumb. Then you're going to take your crochet hook, go under those 2 loops. You're going to bring up a loop, then yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through that loop for your slip knot. Then you're going to make 6 single crochet into the magic circle. Then take your 4-finger and thumb, hold it at the base of the 6 single crochet, and then just close the magic circle like we did before. Then you're going to make 2 single crochet into every stitch around until you have a total of 12, and then come back. Then you would go ahead and make a slip stitch into the next stitch over, yarn over, and pull the yarn through both loops on your hook for a slip stitch. Then you would finish off, just yarn over and pull enough yarn through. Now if you're sewing on your black patch, you would pull enough yarn through to sew onto your work, but if you're making the white patch, you're just going to cut enough for a loose yarn end, because we're going to change colors and add a little brown color to it. So for the black patch, I went ahead and positioned my eye onto the black patch, and then you just put the safety latch onto the back. And I'll show you what that looks like. So here you can see what it looks like when I put the eye onto the black patch and then sewed it on to the dog that way. Now for the white patch, I'm going to show you how to add a little bit of the brown color to the outside. So just take your crochet hook and join it with the stitch where you did your loose yarn end. Then you're just going to chain 1 and then tie a knot. Then I'm going to go ahead and carry my loose yarn ends, because I don't want too many loose yarn ends on the back of the eye. But the first thing you're going to do is chain 2. 1, 2. That's going to count as your first half double crochet. Then you're going to yarn over, go into the next stitch over, go behind your loose yarn ends. You should have 2 of them, the brown and the white. Bring up a loop, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through all 3 for a half double crochet. Then you're going to make another half double crochet into the same stitch. You're going to make 2 half double crochet into every stitch around. So I'm going to do a few with you. And that should end up with 24 for this round. So 2 half double crochet into every stitch all the way around. And then come back. When you reach your beginning chain 2, you're going to make a slip stitch into the top stitch of that first chain 2. So you just take your crochet hook, go into the top stitch of that first chain 2 with your crochet hook, then yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring the yarn through both loops on your hook for a slip stitch. Then you're going to finish off. Just yarn over and pull enough yarn through to sew the patch onto the dog. Now for the second eye patch, you're going to start the same way, except with your new color, you're going to start with a chain 1 instead of a chain 2 like you did the first patch. And then you're going to go into the next stitch over, and again you're going to go behind your loose yarn ends, bring up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through both for a single crochet. And then you're just going to make 2 single crochet into every stitch around instead of a half double crochet like you did on this eye patch. So go ahead and make your other eye patch using single crochet around if that's the design that you want for your dog. Now you're going to position the eyes where you want them, and I positioned mine right next to the magic circle. And I did that for both of my patches. And then once you have the eyes positioned how you want them, and you can line them up to kind of see how your eyes would look on your dog. And then once you're happy with how they're positioned, then you're going to take your safety latch and you're just going to place your safety latch onto the back. Now I just made, if you want to make the extra patch like I did, you're going to make a chain of 6 just like we did for the side panel, except we're going to make a chain of 6 for the patch, and then I made 18 rows of single crochet. And then also when I finish my last stitch on the 18th row, I'm going to join the white yarn and then chain 1 just like we did before, tie a knot, you can go ahead and cut the brown yarn. Then I'm going to turn and work along the side. So I'm going to take my white yarn and I'm going to bury my loose yarn ends as I work. I'm going to go into the same stitch behind my loose yarn ends, bring up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through both for a single crochet. And then I'm just going to evenly space single crochets across the side because you don't have regular stitches as you're going along the side. So you're just going to space your stitches along the side. And when you reach the end, come back and I'll show you what to do next. Then once you reach the end, you can see how mine are all spaced out along the side. Then you can chain 1, turn your work, and then you're going to make 1 single crochet into every stitch back across. And I made 4 rows of 1 single crochet into every stitch. Then I'm going to finish off, just yarn over and pull enough yarn through to sew the patch onto your dog. Now for the fun part, I'm going to show you how to make the wrinkles. So here you can see the wrinkles and how I made them for the one dog. I wrinkled here right above the snout, and then I wrinkled above the eye, and then on the forehead, and then I also made a wrinkle here with the brown, and then here. You could position your wrinkles wherever you want. I'm just kind of showing you where I placed the wrinkles for this dog, if you like the style that I did for this one. For the wrinkles on this dog, what I did was I just kind of bunch up the yarn, and I want it right above the snout. I wanted to bunch up some of the yarn. So then you take your tapestry needle with the same colored yarn, and then you just go through the bunched up crochet. And it's about a row. I just bunch it up and then go right through with my tapestry needle and just bring the yarn through. Leave enough to bury into your work, and then you're just going to take your tapestry needle and just go right back through to the other side, close to where you went in, because you're going to tie a knot. And you're just going to keep going as far as you want your wrinkle. You just go in and out with your tapestry needle and create your wrinkle. So when you come back, I'm going to show you how my wrinkles look around the snout. And because I want the wrinkle to lie right on the snout, I'm going to come out with my tapestry needle right through the snout and right through the wrinkle. Once you're finished making your wrinkle where you want them, then you can take your tapestry needle and bury your loose yarn ends. Just go right through where you went, right where you tied your knot, and just bring it right through to the inside. Then you need to position your eyes on your dog. This is how I positioned my eyes, and I made the white portion half moon shape facing down on both sides, and make sure that your eyes are lined up. And then I added a little wrinkle here to this side. And now I'm going to show you how I put the patch on. Now you're going to take your patch and fold down the white portion, because I want to loop mine around the eye like this, and then I'm going to sew it down. So I'll show it to you when I come back to show you what it looks like. So here is how my patch looks once I've sewn it on, and you can see how I kind of bunched up the white portion around the eye, and then I put it right between a wrinkle. You don't have to do it exactly like mine, but if you like how I did mine, this is how I did it. And then I just sewed down the patch, and this is how my expression looks on this dog. Now I'm going to show you how to put the ears on. To make the ears, you're going to need 2 triangles that are golden brown and then 2 that are white, and I'm going to show you how to make them with the white yarn. You're going to start with your slip knot. Just take your white yarn and fold it over on itself to form a loop. Then take your crochet hook and put it right through the loop. Hold the base of the loop with your middle finger and your thumb. Then just yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for a slip knot. Then we're going to make a chain of 20. I'm just going to do a few with you. Just yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for 1, 2, 3, 4. So go ahead, finish making a chain of 20, and then come back. After you finish your chain of 20, we're going to make 3 rows of single crochet. You're going to take your crochet hook and go into the second chain from the hook. So in the second chain from the hook, you're going to go into that stitch. You're going to bring up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through both for a single crochet. And then you're going to make 1 single crochet into every stitch back across. When you reach the end, go ahead and come back, and I'll show you how to chain and turn. Go ahead and finish making 1 single crochet into every stitch back across, and then come back. This is how your work should look. Now you're going to chain 1, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for a chain 1. Then turn your work, and here you can see at the base of your chain 1 there's a little bit of an upslope. You're not going to work in this stitch, you're going to work in the next stitch over. And you're just going to make 1 single crochet into every stitch back across. So go ahead and finish 2 more rows of just 1 single crochet into every stitch, and then come back. This is how your work should look after finishing 3 rows of 1 single crochet into every stitch. Then you're going to take and turn your work. You're not going to chain 1, you're just going to turn your work, and then you're going to single crochet 2 together. So you go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through all 3 to sew the stitches together. Then you're going to go into the next stitch, and you're going to make 1 single crochet into every stitch across, and then come back when you have 2 stitches left, and then I'll sew those 2 together with you before we turn to the next row. Alright, so I completed 1 single crochet into every stitch, and I have 2 stitches remaining. We're going to single crochet those 2 stitches together. Take your crochet hook, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through all 3 for a single crochet 2 together, or a decrease. Then turn your work, and you're going to make a single crochet into the next stitch over. And you're going to make 1 single crochet into every stitch across. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, So this is 14 and then 15. And then you're not going to chain, you're just going to turn your work, and you're going to keep doing this until you've reached a point on the ear. So one single crochet into the next stitch, and then every stitch across. I'm going to do one more with you. And then when you start reaching the point at the top of the ear, come back. I'll come back and show you how to finish the point of the ear. So then you turn, and you could see how when you don't make the chain one for the next row, and you just go right into, you turn and go right into the next stitch, you're creating a slant, which is going to create a point for the ear. And then come back, and I'll show you how to finish off the point of the ear. This is how my ear looks so far, and you can see how I have an angle on each side of the ear. And now I'm down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches. So I'm going to turn my work, go into the next stitch over for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then I'm going to turn my work, make 1, 2, and you can make your ear as pointy as you want. I'm just going to finish mine at this point, so I'm just going to go into the next stitch, yarn over, and we're going to make a slip stitch. You're going to pull the yarn through both loops on your hook for a slip stitch. Then you're going to finish off, just going to yarn over and pull enough yarn through to sew the ear to the brown side. And you can have fun with the colors. Just make sure you make your ears all the same way. So here is my brown ear. So you could put the brown part on the back if you wanted, or if you want to change the colors around, you can make the white portion on the outside. But you're going to need 4 of these, 2 of them to sew together, and then come back. You should have all of your ear pieces completed. You have 2 of the brown color and then 2 of the white color. Now you can just take your tapestry needle, and I'm going to use my golden brown to sew the pieces together. And I would recommend any portion that's for the outside part of the ear that you use that color to sew the piece together. And then just line them up, and then you take your crochet hook, your tapestry needle, and you just go through the edge of the ear and just sew the back to the front. And you just go in and out sewing the 2 pieces together. And you just need to sew along the sides, not along the bottom of the ear, and then come back. With your dog ears, you can sew your triangles, whatever color that you want to show on the outside. But I would recommend that when you're sewing, that you use whatever yarn matches for whatever you want showing on the outside. With your ears, I would recommend lining up the ear with the bottom part of the eye. And here I'm about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches in, and I'm coming out with my tapestry needle to sew the bottom part, and I'm going to sew along the inside of the ear first with the same color. So I sewed along the front of the ear, and then I folded in the tip of the ear, the base of the ear, and it's lined up with the eye patch. Now, once I've sewn the front down, I can take the white yarn and just secure and sew along the back of the ear. Then you're going to line up the other ear in the same exact, make sure that they're lined up. Here's one ear, and I have mine lined up right with the bottom of the eyes, so they line up perfectly. And then just sew it in place, and I always sew the front down first, and then on the top you want to make sure that they're directly across from each other. And then once you fold the front, sew the front down, fold the front of the ear the same amount on both sides. And then you could sew the back of the ears with the white yarn or whatever color that you used for the back of the ears. So that's one design of dog that I did. And then the other design, I used the white on the front and then folded in. And this is the other ear. And this ear, I moved a little bit forward more. Here's the back, and then here's the back of the other ear. And this is what it looks like on the front. So you just position your ears how you want. So this one, you could see the eye. I didn't put the ear up higher. I went a little bit lower on this one. You can make your ears however you like. And this one, you could see I did to the left of the patch instead of directly over the patch, the eye patch. So I just want to show you the two different designs. So here's the one design that we have so far. And here's a close-up of the ear. Here's the side, the other side. And then here's the other design. And then here's the side profile and the other side. After you're finished with your face design, then we're going to close the head. You're just going to take and start. I'm going to start right at the front of the face where it meets the side panel, and you're just going to put your crochet hook right into one of the stitches. You want your white yarn. Go ahead and hook your white yarn and bring it through the stitch. Then you're going to want to make a chain 1, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for chain 1. Then you're going to tie your knot. I'm just going to tie it next to the loose yarn end that I have. Then we're going to start our decrease rounds. You can use a yarn marker here if you like, but I know that anytime I get back to the side panel after the snout, that's my end of that round. So then you're going to take your crochet hook, just go into the next stitch over, bring up a loop. You have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and go through both for a single crochet. And you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next 6 stitches. So 1 single crochet into the next 6 stitches. And then you're going to make your decrease stitch. So you're going to take your crochet hook, go into the next stitch over, bring up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, go into the next stitch over, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through all 3 for your decrease stitch. And then you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the beginning. So I'm going to do one more set with you. 1 single crochet into 6 stitches. and then I'm going to make my decrease stitch. So I'm going to go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, and then I'm going to yarn over and go through all 3 for a decrease stitch. So go ahead, repeat that pattern all the way around back to the beginning. And now I'm back to where I started. I'm going to go ahead and just place a yarn marker here just so I can show you the stitches. For this next decrease round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next 5 stitches. Then, after making 1 single crochet into 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to make your decrease stitch. So take your crochet hook, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, take your crochet hook, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through all 3 for your decrease stitch. And then repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker and then come back. When you're back to your yarn marker, then go ahead and move your yarn marker up, and for the next decrease round you're going to make 1 single crochet into 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches and then make your decrease stitch. Repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. Then go ahead and move your yarn marker up. For your last decrease round you're going to make 1 single crochet into 3 stitches and then make your decrease stitch. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. I made my last decrease stitch for that round, so I'm going to take my crochet hook, I'm going to go ahead and remove my yarn marker, go into the next stitch over, and then you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. Then you're going to finish off, just going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, go through that loop, bring enough yarn through to bury into your work. And yes, you're going to have a little bit of an opening, but that's fine. The Bulldogs have a bigger neck, so that's why I left a bigger opening. And now I'm going to show you how to make the body. For the body, you're going to start with the color that you want for your Bulldog. And for mine, I'm going to start with the white. And we're going to start with a magic circle, so go ahead and drape it across your 4 fingers. Use your thumb to stabilize, and then wrap the yarn around your 2 middle fingers and hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb. We're going to make 6 single crochet into the magic circle, but first we're going to bring up a loop, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through that loop for our slip knot. Then we're going to make our 6 single crochet into the magic circle. Then take your forefinger and your thumb, hold it at the base of the 6 single crochet. You have the 2 loops on the opposite side, and we're going to pull on one of them just like we did before. If it doesn't close, you let go and pull on the other one, but this one's closing. Just close it gently. Then take your loose yarn end and pull on that gently, because we can always close it more later. Then you're going to make 2 single crochet into every stitch around until you have a total of 12. So 2 single crochet into the same stitch all the way around until you have a total of 12, and then come back. This is how your work should look. If you have a little opening at the center of your magic circle, go ahead and turn your work over and pull on that loose yarn end. That'll close up the center nicely. Then you're going to take your yarn marker and place it right where you left off. And we're going to start our increase rounds. For the first increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into the first stitch, and then 2 single crochet into the second stitch. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around, back to the yarn marker, and then come back. You should have completed 18 stitches for that round. Go ahead and move your yarn marker up, and for the next increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the third stitch, and then repeat that pattern. So you should have finished 24 stitches Move your yarn marker up. Next increase round, you're going to do 1 single crochet into 3 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the 4th stitch. You should have finished 30 stitches. Move your yarn marker up, 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the 5th stitch. You should have finished 36 stitches. For the next increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the 6th. You should have finished 42 stitches on the last round. The next increase stitch, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 6 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the 7th stitch. You should have finished 48 stitches, and now we only have 2 more increase rounds to go. And for this increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 7 and then 2 single crochet into the 8th stitch. You should have finished 54 stitches on that last round, and now we're going to complete our last increase round. So 1 single crochet into 8 stitches and then 2 single crochet into the 9th stitch. I finished with 60 stitches for that round. Now this is the fun part where you can add the color where you want for your dog. If you're going to follow along exactly like mine, what I'm going to do first before I add the new color is I'm going to make 1 single crochet into every stitch for 2 rounds, and then go ahead and come back and I'll show you how I change colors. I just finished 2 rounds of 1 single crochet in every stitch with my white yarn. Then I'm going to move my yarn marker up, and I'm going to show you how to change colors. And you can do this at any point as you're working. Just take your crochet hook, go into the next loop over, bring up a loop. I have 2 loops on my hook. I'm going to go ahead and get my second color that I'm using for my Bulldog. I'm going to go ahead and hook it and bring it through. Then I'm going to go ahead and chain 1 and tie a knot. And don't cut your white yarn because we're going to carry the white yarn as we work. Now, don't worry about your loose yarn ends because those are going to be in the inside of your work anyway. But you're going to take your white yarn and we're going to carry it as we work. So you're going to go into the next stitch with your crochet hook. You're going to go behind the white yarn and you're going to bring up a loop with your new color. And then I have 2 loops on my hook with the brown color. I'm going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through both for a single crochet. And I'm just going to keep making single crochet with my new yarn color, and you can make it as long as you want for the color, and you can keep adding color too for each of the subsequent rows or rounds. For this round, I'm just going to make a few with my brown color, and when you're ready to switch colors, just take the brown colored yarn, move it forward, and then take your new color yarn and start crocheting with that yarn. So then you take your crochet hook, go into the next stitch, go behind the brown yarn, bring up a loop with your new color, yarn over and go through both for a single crochet. And then we're just going to keep carrying the yarn, and for now I'm going to make the rest of mine white, a single crochet into every stitch using my white yarn. When you get back to the yarn marker, come back and I'll show you how to change colors again. So here I made a single crochet all the way around and I'm back to my yarn marker. I have only 2 stitches left before the yarn marker. I'm going to go ahead and change colors. So I'm going to move the white yarn forward, pick up the brown yarn, and then I'm just going to go into the next stitch behind the white yarn, bring up a new loop with my brown yarn, and just like I did before, now I'm just going to start crocheting with the brown yarn. And that's how you're going to work your dog. You can change colors wherever you want. and then make the body of the crochet bulldog with its own unique design. So when you come back, I'll show you how long I made my body and show you what my design looks like. Here's my yarn marker, and you should have finished 30 rows of one single crochet into every stitch around, and you can see the design that I made with mine. That's what's fun about this project, is you can make your design any way you want now that you know how to do the color change. And then once you have the length that you want for your body, then you're going to take your yarn marker and just place it right where you left off, because we're going to start doing our decrease rounds. Before I start my decrease rounds, I went ahead and cut the white yarn and tied a knot, because I'm going to finish up with my honey colored yarn. But you can finish up whatever color that you want for your project, or you can just keep both, whatever you want to do. And what you're going to do for the closing or the decrease rounds, this first decrease round, you're going to make one single crochet into 8 stitches. So go ahead, make one single crochet into the next 8 stitches, and then come back. After you make one single crochet into 8 stitches, then you're going to make your decrease stitch. So you take your crochet hook, go into the next stitch over, bring up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, then go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through all 3 for your decrease stitch. Then you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to your yarn marker, and then come back. Then you can go ahead and stuff your body with the pillow stuffing, or whatever stuffing that you're using. And the next decrease round, you're going to make one single crochet into 7 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then make your decrease stitch and repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. Then for the next round, you're going to make one single crochet into 6 stitches and then make your decrease stitch and repeat that pattern all the way around. Yes, you guessed it. This next round is going to be one single crochet into 5 stitches and then your decrease stitch, and then repeat it all the way around back to your yarn marker. You can keep stuffing it as you close, and you can see how it's getting smaller and smaller. That's how yours should be looking as well. And for this decrease round, you're going to make one single crochet into 4 stitches and then make your decrease stitch. Then you're going to make one in 3 stitches, one single crochet in 3 stitches, and then a decrease stitch. Then for the next round, decrease round, you're going to do one single crochet into 2 stitches and then make your decrease stitch. Then repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn. You should be almost there, and you can see how mine is looking. I have a little bit of an opening still. This next decrease round, you're going to make one single crochet into 1 stitch and then make your decrease stitch and then repeat that all the way around. Almost closed. Now you can go ahead and get rid of your yarn marker. You don't need that anymore. Now I'm going to slip stitch it closed, and how you're going to do that is you're going to skip the next stitch and you're going to go into the next stitch, then you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring the yarn through both loops on your hook for a slip stitch. And you're going to do that all the way around until it's closed. And probably just a couple left. I'm going to do one more. And then once you have it slip stitched closed, then you can finish off. Just yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring enough yarn through to bury into your work. And then you're going to get your tapestry needle. Place the tapestry needle onto the end of your loose yarn end. Then you're going to take your tapestry needle and go right back through the center and come out anywhere on the body. Pull it and then go ahead and cut it. And then you're all done with the body. Now we're going to finish up with the head. So go ahead and stuff the head. We're going to go ahead and close it. So you're just going to take your white yarn or whatever color that you have, the same color that you were closing the head with, and you're going to take your crochet hook and just go right through that stitch. Loop your yarn and bring it through. Then you're going to just make a chain 1, and then you're going to tie a knot. Then you're just going to take and close it just like we did the body. So we finished up with 1 and 3 and then the decrease. Now you're going to make 1 and 2. Go ahead and get your yarn marker to help you keep track of where you are. And then you're going to make 1 single crochet into 2 stitches. And then you're going to make your decrease stitch. So you're going to go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through all 3 for your decrease. Then you're going to repeat that all the way around back to the yarn marker. When you're back to the yarn marker, go ahead and move it up, and then you're just going to make 1 single crochet into 1 stitch. And then you're going to make your decrease stitch. And then you're going to repeat this pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. And you can keep stuffing as needed as you close. This is how your work should be looking. We're almost closed. Go ahead and take your yarn marker and move it up. And this decrease round, you're just going to make a decrease stitch all the way around. And then when you get back to the yarn marker, come back and I'll show you how to slip stitch closed. Now to slip stitch closed, go ahead and take your yarn marker. You can go ahead and set that aside. You're going to take your crochet hook, and just like we did for the body, you're going to skip a stitch, go into the next stitch. Make sure my loose yarn end doesn't get in there. Then you're going to yarn over and pull the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. And you're just going to do that all the way around. Skip a stitch, yarn over and pull it through both. Skip a stitch, yarn over and pull the yarn through both loops on the hook. You can see how it closes it up nicely. And then when you're finished closing it, this one, then you're just going to finish off, just yarn over and pull the yarn through. Mine, I made a little snug on that one. Let me just redo it. Make it less snug. There. And I'm just going to do one more. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish off and just pull enough yarn through to bury into your work. just take your yarn marker, your tapestry needle, not your yarn marker, put it on the loose yarn end, go right through where you tied your knot, and then come out anywhere on the head just to bury that loose yarn end, and then you can cut it, and then you're finished closing up the head. Now we can sew it onto the body. So here is the expression that I have on one of my bulldogs, and I'm just going to show you a little close-up and side profile, and you can see I put some wrinkles on the side. He has a patch. You can put your wrinkles wherever you want for your dog. And then I'm just going to show you my other one. And here is the expression on the other dog. And you can see how I used the different eyes for this one. And the patch looks a little different. So you can have fun and create your own. And then if you like mine, you could see how I put some of the wrinkles on mine. Now, once you position your head onto the body, then you're going to take your tapestry needle with the same colored yarn as the side of the head that you're sewing on. Mine has this honey color and then white on the other side, so I'm going to sew the honey colored first. Make sure that you leave enough of a loose yarn end for burying into your work. And then you're just going to sew the head on, just going in and out of the head and the body until you've sewn it on. So yes, for mine, I let the head hang over quite a bit. I'm just going to show you underneath. And here you can see how I positioned it. Here's the magic circle center, not the magic circle center, but where I closed it on the head. And I attached it. I'm sewing right underneath the head, making sure that this is sewn on. And then I'm just going to go around and sew the back of the head. And then I'm going to show you with the Bulldog, they have a lot of wrinkles on the back of the head too. So you can just kind of wrinkle up the back of the head and sew it so that the head is held up straight. And here is my other Bulldog. You could see how I sewed on his head onto the back, and the wrinkles on the back of his head and how it holds up his head. And here's a close-up of some of the wrinkles on his head. And you can see how he's able to hold his head upright. You just wrinkle up the back as you sew it down to the back of the body, and then you can have the head hang over, which is kind of what the Bulldog has, a big head that wrinkles in the back as well. So you can see how I sewed my Bulldog's head on. Just going to turn it around so you can see. And now you could put wrinkles onto the back of the head. And if your head is hanging forward, just pull it back, more wrinkles on the back, and just sew it right to the back. And then that will keep it straight. And to put the wrinkles in, you just kind of pinch some of the yarn and then take your tapestry needle with the yarn and just go in and out with your tapestry needle. And that just forms a little wrinkle in the back of the head. Just make sure that you're using the same colored yarn as the side that you're putting your wrinkle in. So since I'm using the honey colored yarn on this side, I'm using the honey colored yarn to put the wrinkle in. And then I'm going to use my white yarn to put the wrinkle on the other side. Now I want to show you how to make the feet. And you're going to need 4 feet. On this Bulldog, I made 3 of the feet with all white color. But on the 4th one, I'm going to show you how to change colors. That way you can make your feet whatever color that you want to. We're going to start with a magic circle. So you take the yarn that you want to start the paw with. I'm going to start mine with the white. Just drape it across your 4 fingers. Use your thumb to stabilize. And then you're going to wrap the yarn around your 2 middle fingers and hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb. Then you're going to take your crochet hook, go under the 2 loops. You're going to bring up a loop, Then you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through that loop for your slip knot. Then you're going to make 6 single crochet into the magic circle. So there's 1. Then just take your forefinger and your thumb and just hold it at the base of the 6 single crochet. Then you have the 2 loops on the opposite side. You're going to pull on one. If it doesn't close, let go and pull on the other one. This one's closing. Then take the loose yarn in and pull on that. Then you're going to take and make 2 single crochet into every stitch around until you have a total of 12. So 2 single crochet into every stitch. I'll do the first one with you. There's 1, and then I'm going to go in the same stitch and make 2 single crochet into every stitch all the way around until you have a total of 12. This is how your work should look so far. Now we're going to start our increase rounds. So you're just going to take your yarn marker and place it right where you left off. And then for your first increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into the first stitch, and then 2 single crochet into the second stitch. And then you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around, back to the yarn marker, and then come back. Now you're going to take your yarn marker and move it up, and you're going to make 1 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the second stitch, and then 2 single crochet into the third stitch. And then repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. Then for your next increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 3 and then 2 single crochet into the fourth stitch. The sunglasses are made the same way as the start of the foot. You'll increase to 3 and then 2 single crochet into the fourth stitch. And then once you have the size that you want for the sunglasses, you just take your crochet hook, go into the next stitch over, then you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and bring the yarn through both loops on your hook for a slip stitch. And then you're going to finish off, just yarn over and pull enough yarn through to bury into your work. And then you're going to need 2 of these for the sunglasses. So the sunglasses are made the same way up until this point, but for the foot we're going to keep increasing. So you go ahead and take your yarn marker up, and now this increase round you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. And then 2 single crochet into the 5th stitch. And then repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker. We have 2 more increase rounds to go. For this next increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the 6th stitch. For the last increase round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into 6 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the 7th stitch. After you finish your increase rounds, this is how the bottom of your paw should look. Then you're going to take your yarn marker and move it up for 1 round of 1 single crochet into every stitch. So 1 single crochet into every stitch all the way around, and then come back and I'll show you how to make the front of the paw. After you finish 1 single crochet around, just take and move your yarn marker up, and we're going to do 12 decreases. So you're going to take your crochet hook, go into that first stitch, bring up a loop. You have 2 loops on the hook, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, just yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through all 3 for a decrease. And you're going to make 12 decreases. So that's 2, 3, okay, and I have 2 more. Then you can turn it so that the right side is facing out. And then you have your loose yarn end on the inside of the paw. You're going to start forming the front of the paw. Now, just finish making 1 single crochet into every stitch, back to the yarn marker, and then come back. When you get to the yarn marker, just take it and move it up and make 1 round again of just 1 single crochet into every stitch around. So 1 single crochet into every stitch around, back to the yarn marker. Then go ahead and move your yarn marker up, and this time you're only going to make 6 decreases across the front. So go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, yarn over and make your decrease, and that's 1, 2, 1 more decrease. Then you're just going to make 1 single crochet into every stitch back to the yarn marker, and then come back. Then when you get back to the yarn marker, you're going to make 1 single crochet into every stitch around, and when you come back, I'm going to show you how to change colors. Part of the fun of making your own dog is you can make your dog however you want to, so you can change colors wherever you want. So when you come back, I'm going to show you how to change colors, but you don't have to change colors at that point. You can change colors at any point during your making of the paw. This is what my paw looks like so far. And now I'm going to show you how to change colors. So just take your crochet hook, go into the next stitch over and bring up a loop. You have 2 loops on the hook. Then you bring in the new color. And then just hook the new color. Then you just chain 1. And if you want to change colors again, then you wouldn't cut your previous color. You would just carry it like you did for the body. But I'm going to go ahead and cut my white colored yarn because I'm just going to finish it up with my new color. So I'm just going to tie a knot. Then you're just going to make 1 single crochet into every stitch for 15 rounds. And after you finish the 15th round, come back and I'll show you what to do next. After you finish 15 rows total of 1 single crochet into every stitch, go ahead and take your yarn marker and move it up. We're going to do an increase round. For the next round, you're going to make 1 single crochet into the first stitch and then 2 single crochet into the second stitch. And then you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around back to the yarn marker.